This is your daily market review for Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. Hopefully you're having an amazing day. Another great day in the market. As we talked about, the market was probably going to be bouncing near term as we kind of get into this oversold condition, which again, it's all, subjective. But however, we're at levels and multiple things within the charting that we follow, we're at those particular levels. And again, watch the whole review, check it out. You'll see how it confirms, how it laid out, why you should expect potentially the bounce here going forward. Again, probably very temporary, might be just a road block or a speed bump on the way to lower in time. But again, you have to trade the market and try to anticipate what retail is trying to do and how the market makers are trying to take the most amount of money. If you're newer to the channel, please check out the Discord room, link in the description below. I appreciate any likes, subscribes, comments on any of the videos. It helps. Again, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, the algorithm will help pick up for people who are actually searching for knowledge versus really just trying to get rich quick, because that's what we do. We're trying to give you the knowledge, the teachings, the understanding of how to manage the market the best to your personality without gambling. Again, we run this like a business. When you make money, you pay yourself. This is not some get rich quick scheme. It's how to build long-term wealth. This is the channel for such. Follow on Twitter as well. You see the tweet bird. Yeah, posting what we're up to. Talked about in the afternoon, somebody was creating a floor at the 397 level on the SPY. Look at that at the close. Are you surprised that we popped? Again, NVIDIA, we'll talk about it when we get there, but stick around. If you're new to the channel, you're hanging out, watch this video, please. We're about to get into that. And now it starts, I think, on Friday is the last day, if I'm correct. Yeah. The start of the first and last and first 3-day business trading days of the month. And in general, if you're looking to learn, it's all free content. I'm just amazed how many people ask questions and it's like, there's a video on that, there's a video on that, there's a video on it, and if there's not, great, let's make one. It's all one of those things to help out. So either way, reach out if you have any questions and let's get into it. Bitcoin, man, I feel like a broken record. Feels like gold, feels like everything, and that's kind of stuck in this holding pattern until the feds basically flip and start actually cutting rates. But again, remember, they need to get inflation under control. They don't have it. So Bitcoin, maybe like gold, maybe silver, all these things, they're going to be in a holding pattern potentially. But either way, if you trade around these things, they provide ample opportunity. Let me just call it what it is. Just watch the 25,000. If you bought down here, you're feeling good. Don't be surprised if at any point we maybe pull back. So, I can't tell you what the perfect answer is, but if I'm a probability-based trader, I bought down here, took a little profit here, I would take more profit up here. And if it rips higher, great. But there will be dips, as you see. So just keep it simple. Oil. A little bit of a slap around today. Been trying to get up into the 80 level. I said this 1,000 times. There's just easier trades. Let's move on. Hold here or see you in the 60s. If you see it in the 60s, let's talk. Natural gas, a lot of people getting excited. They're calling the bottom. And again, you can't know the bottom isn't the bottom if everyone's calling for it. At this point, it's due to bounce. I just think there's 1,000 better trades out there. You could get stuck in the spin cycle, chop cycle. I would say moveon.org. I think that's just the easier trade here. If you want to really play natural gas, good luck. I just think there's so much better trades. The dollar, holding up pretty well. Again, not every day time the dollar's up, the market has to drop. Think about it. Remember, the market, February 2nd, the market peaked, but it also along the way held up pretty well, even as the dollar climbed. Just keep an eye on it. Just confirms in time. The bear's probably going to win. TLT, not surprised it held the 100 level. We talked about it. You're pretty close to filling that gap. Either way, volatility. Remember, there is a big short interest in the bond market. I personally, just wouldn't touch the bond market. Kind of just watching it, but we'll see. The VIX talked about The gap to the 100-day needing a break. Here you go. Slightly higher high. I'm expecting at worst the gap fill 20, upper 19s. Upper 19s max potentially, right? So keep in your mind, like, I don't know, I'm just writing down again, reminder. Like, again, I write this stuff everywhere so I don't forget it. Max downside, upper 19s. Again, because you got to have your plans everywhere. It's kind of like you're piloting a ship, you know, and you just have like reminders. Do this, do that, do that, do this. SPY. Again, ultimately, I think the VIX will go higher. Sorry, but in time, I think it's due to bounce. All right, we hit close enough to the 50-day. We talked about this 0.618 area hovering. I don't know if you guys saw the 10-minute, and I posted this. Sorry, yeah, the 10-minute. I said somebody's setting the floor in the afternoon. Look what happened. Now we're rallying a little bit. Again, is this just a one-day effect? It could be. I mean, I'm not sitting here getting all giddy thinking this is the next wave of a bull market. I think it's more of a indecisive chop action, gives you opportunity to reload some names, and if we get a pop, because again, the first drop, the first, you know, bounce finds a pullback, right? The first drop finds a bounce. So just keep that in mind. Do we have to go back to the top? No, I'm thinking it's more like this, where it's just a couple days consolidation. Maybe it goes, maybe it's just tomorrow and we get back up here looking for the 404 QQ. Again, talked about getting down here into this 290s. We'd like to have seen the 200-day, but I think we can get back up to the 299 potentially, maybe the 20-day. Love, again, you gotta love when you can start. Here's the thing: when the trend starts, y'all remember how easy it is to buy the dips. Well, here it was very sloppy, choppy, and it cut a lot of people up. Well, now it's just the opposite. Did I say opposite? Yeah, short the pops. However, I think at some point there will be this like epic down move. And again, give yourself time, because if it is a choppy, sloppy drop and you have, say, April puts, March, because maybe it does this. Maybe there's a week of this in between. Maybe it does a little bit of this. If you can't watch it every minute, at least you have time. And if your entry location is strong, nearer the highs, not chasing like some of the folks were today. Like, man, how about my head exploded when I saw someone wanted to short SMH at the low of the day. But that just happens. I mean, you got to be careful. IWM, here he is, all the evidence of bounce points. Talked about probably hold the 187, 187, 188. Could we rally back to 190, 191? Put this in your notes. I'm telling you, it'll help you, keep you on top of things. Adia, I think I missed this one yesterday. Yeah, back down to the range lows. Goes from 34.4 to 28.8. You know, it's 1,500 points or something. Don't be surprised by a little what? The bounce. Bounce, a bounce, a bounce. So, okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking NC State plays tonight at 7 o'clock. Don't forget. That sounds good to me. So, yeah, back to Dia. I think you're good. I think you're good. Just in the sense of, like all of them, we're closer to the downside, due for a little pounce. And just remember this. To kill a bull or bear market, you need to make sure everybody gets out of position. And out of position means staying long, staying short at the extremes. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Gold. Again, like Bitcoin, I don't trust them. They're just not acting well. Silver, I'm going to try to roll through these fast. Ugly. Just chopping. They feel like they're going lower. GDX, we've talked about. If you sold some dust around 15, great. But I told you guys I have my core position. I'm letting it run, and thank God I did, because look at that. Another gap, potentially go. GDXJ, ugly monkey, ugly gorilla. Yeah, none of this stuff looks good. I'm telling you, if the market's going to go down, this stuff is not safe. AG has earnings tomorrow. This thing, again, confirmed it. I mean, literally since November, just slow, steady. AEM, people keep asking, is it time to buy metals, miners? I don't know how anyone could construe that. I'm like, hey, yeah, time to buy the miners, folks. No, not at all. I mean, I hope I've been clearer than gin, vodka, whatever your favorite clear liquor is. No, absolutely freaking not. Now, again, they might be oversold, but the miners can get absolutely just bombed. Hence why it's an easy short. Newmont breaking new lows. PAAS. They have earnings, I think. Do they have earnings after the close? Yeah, they had earnings after the close. Oh, man, it's down another 30 or 40 cents. Oh, no. You're welcome if you bought the dust. Remember, we don't chart this stuff, but I said, watch the 11, 10 area. Congratulations. And then said 15's minimum. Well, I'm starting to ratchet up my targets to 18, 19. Not bad. I mean, do you like 50%? I mean, do you like 100% gains in this market? On stock? Do you say stock? Oh, my goodness. All right, AMD, let's go to this. Tech. Yeah, after hours, back up at 79. I mean, here you go. 80 area. I'm putting them, again, because remember, AMD and NVIDIA, like 89, 90. I'd watch that. Now, could it go a little higher? Don't hold me to an exact price, right? Like, that shit happens. But just keep in mind, like, watch this area, okay? Watch the area. Let's see what happens when it gets up there. I just keep an eye on it, because could you get to 83? Maybe. Let's just play it as it lies. Taiwan Semi. Talked about being at the trend low. All right, watch. Maybe it bounces. I mean, this thing probably doesn't have a strong bounce because now this is all resistance. So I'd watch TSM 90, 91. Again, take the notes. I'm taking notes. How are you not taking notes? You're following me. You're sitting here thinking you're going to coast through like you're some genius. Wrong. No one is smarter than the market. Everyone's a student. NVIDIA. Told you guys this thing would probably pop. Remember, the first drop gets bought. It always does. And if it doesn't, well, then you're playing against the odds here. Not surprised. Everybody hated it. Now it's back at 225. This gives the bulls what? Plenty of ammunition to go. This is a more than a one-day event, guy. So 225, 230. Just be prepared. Do not buy options at the open because the IV will be jacked. It's like, remember we talked about in the gold trade when it gapped down and we sold our puts? Well, you want to sell options when the IV is in implied volatility is jacked. So if you want to sell some calls, maybe then buy some puts later in the day, let the IB come in. Again, pay attention. Congrats. If you bought, again, we talked about for a trade, Soxel, silliness. Again, I don't chart it, but it's up at 1450. If you bought it down here in the upper 13s, hot five, probably going to take the profits tomorrow. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to get too crazy with it. I bought some like near dated calls as hedges, taking the money, right? Take the money, Lebowski. Well, I guess he doesn't say take the money, but that's what I'm looking at. Hopefully maybe 15. That'd be sweet. SMH, after hours, back to 239. Okay. Close enough for government work. We're going to get there. Remember, I would keep, right? Keep in your mind. We say 240, right? We'll say 240, right? But could it get to 242, 243? Again, I just hate when people are like, well, you said 240 and it went $1 higher. Don't be like that, okay? Watch for the bounce, 20-day. Just put all that in there. 20-day, you just don't know how it all plays out. It should start a layering process of reshorting. That's my opinion. Could we always retest the high? That always has to be in the back of your mind. So if you have great trade location, don't go all in bonkers until you think you're seeing weakness. Okay. Yeah, you know that from the, I think that's Ace Ventura, the dolphin. Do you know the dolphin? Do you speak to regularly? All right, so yeah, just watch it. Please take notes for the love of God. I just hate when people ask questions like, "Hey, what do you think of that?" And it's like, wow, I genuinely talked about it for 5 minutes last night on the review and gave you the trade location. But you know what? Not everyone's gonna do it. Adobe, yeah, I mean it's gone down pretty quickly. Probably gonna chop a little bit. That's part of the game. Chop is part of the game. Apple, again, what's in your mind? Did you take the 200-day? Congratulations to the folks that did. The people that bought the out of the money weeklies, shame on you. But if you bought in the money, and even when it pulled back, you're still looking pretty. Right now, 149 after hours. I'm still expecting 151s. 151s potentially. Amazon.com. Oversold. I mean, probably everyone's figure the 50-day. Probably bounce. I would watch probably the 9900 area. CRM. Again, all these names, weak cheese bounces. But hopefully they get 1 or 2 days of just power rally again. Remember, sometimes bear market rallies and squeezes and big drops and trends, like that's how you like reset the reset the variables, get people bullish again, right? CRM, I'd probably watch for the 167. Let's just blast through these. Guggenheim, this thing's been a turd. I can't believe people, again, I always love when people everyone's like, this is the bottom, you gotta buy Google. Wrong sauce. I don't even know. I mean, if it bounces significantly, then I would short it. Meta, the high Miho hits the 20-day, right? Didn't we get down there? Pretty close. Either way, you're looking for it, looking for the bounce, 176 to 178. I would use this multi-day range high, and these bottoms seems very likely. Microsoft, again, holding the 250 area by the skin of its teeth. I'd love to see it up at 257, maybe 260. NDAQ, even this piece of crap had a little bouncy bounce in it. Yeah. Man, if someone sees this thing up $2 or $3, give me a call, because then I'll short it. I just can't. I don't want to chase it, and I don't want to get stuck in the chop zone. I want to short a nice peak, then I can buy out 3 months long-term puts and just let the mother ride. MicroStrategy, we talked about this might be an outside reversal candle, and look at what's going on, 20-day. However, pray for a little bounce, maybe the 280s. Netflix, getting close enough to our targets. Said the 50-day, maybe this gap area. Whatever, still waiting. 347, 350 would be ideal. Roblox, heading south for the winter, I guess. I mean, it's going to fill that gap at some point. Again, I don't think I will ever short this name, but because I think it's a buyout target, but I will watch for dips, and maybe it breaks this trend line and goes back and tests the backside of the other one. We'll see what happens. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Tesla. Watch for the 209. Again, this is like the outside reversal candle, just like you saw with some of the previous names. It's just, pray. And keep in mind, if you traded this, and remember, I think a lot of people don't remember, we shorted the crap out of this, and then we knew it first would bounce. It's got a chop top kind of feel to it. Now, does it have to get back up? Good question. But think about the momentum. Stop thinking about where you want to short it and think about where the market makers want to trap everybody. Probably would make sense to pull it right back up into the 208, 209. Materials, letter X. Yeah, just chopping. Again, I think these names could rise or fall. Again, fall would be because of, obviously, recession, but hold up because of geopolitical stuff. Nucor, again, every day, somebody's asking to short this, and I can't remember. Calgary, my friend. I understand the short yesterday, but now you're back down here. Again, this is all strong. I hate shorting. Again, this is all strength. Tech is on the opposite side. It's all holding, chopping, dead bounces. This thing is up near the highs. Not saying it can't get smoked, but it's harder. It's just harder. Again, trade it. I just hate overthinking this. Caterpillar, you're welcome. Just seems to be burning. However, just know in the back of your mind, do you see it? Yeah, you see it. It could probably hold. Oh, excuse me. I would just, again, I don't know if I would be adding shorts here, but if you see 245, that makes sense. VALE, this thing has just been dead money. Chopping. Again, names, they don't really look that good. Copper down. Okay. Below the 20-day, curling down. CCJ, kind of warned folks, it's just a matter of when, not if. Again, nothing's safe. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. You hear me say that over and over and over and over and over again. Well, you got up in the 29s, now you're turning over. Now, again, people are like, oh, you said materials, don't short. I'm like, just be careful with them. I mean, CF today, I'm watching this thing bounce back, chop around. I'm like, people are getting excited about it. And I'm like, it could bounce. But again, this might have more to do with geopolitical stuff. I want geopolitical stuff to go in our favor. I want it to crush the names I'm in, not hold them up. Mosaic, same thing, chopping around. Does this make sense? Steel, materials, oil, gas. Again, it should go lower, right? No one's going to argue that. It should go lower. But here's the damn problem, right? Here's the damn problem. Geopolitical stuff could hold this up. And so if the market tanks and you're shorting stuff that ain't going lower, how fun is that? Right? Not fun at all. Just keep that in the back of your mind. NTR, I probably said that 7 times today. Yeah, just chopping, again, all this stuff. I mean, I have secret desires for smashing in these names and then buying them. Alcoa. Had a nice upgrade today. Man, can't even really hold up. Again, materials. I'm a broken record. XLF. Hit the 50-day. Took your profits, hopefully. Now wait for a little bounce, 36. Now again, if you have your core position, cool. Again, these things probably don't bounce that much. JP Morgan. Chopping to a new low. Little Doge here today. Dogecoin. We'll see what happens. Morgan Stanley. Max. I don't know. Multiple names. Watch, again, below the 20-day. This is all perfect. All the stuff looks good. All right? Below the 20-day. I mean, this stuff probably bounces very little. Just keep that in mind. Hence why XLF 30, I mean, it's not even that far. 36. Where would that take the FAS? I mean, the FAS got up to 82 today at 32.78. I mean, I think you could see, again, I'm just pulling numbers. 84s. I said this. 84s, 85s. Right? Is that in your notes? Right? It should be. And I'm writing mine again. 84, 85. I mean, I write this stuff everywhere. So I can't, if I'm like in the heat of the moment, I can't remember. I'm like, oh, where is it? It's right there in front of me. It's always there. Right there in front of me. Hey, Cat. All right, XBI chopping up again. Again, things, we talked about this thing being oversold. 100-day. Not surprised. It's got a little rally in it. Let's get into solar. All this stuff. We hit downside targets. 84 or 74. Chopping. Let it breathe. You just uncork the wine. Chopping at the lows. Remember, sometimes it's great to chop at the lows to draw in bulls before they break their necks. Cedriton. Oh, you really want to get on the desk tonight. Chopping here at the range lows. Congratulations to those who shorted up here. Now, don't be surprised if it takes it. I don't know how long. Just due to bounce. Here, same thing. Trend line. If you did not see this in First Solar and you're like, oh, what do I do now? Sorry. I'd watch the 168, maybe 170. Again, this thing is hard. Look what it did last time. It just went and then came right back. Hard as all relative. Oil. Yeah, it doesn't really look that good. It's just choppy, sloppy. Leave it alone. Nat gas is up 5% today. Do you want me to buy it? I'm like crying. Stop it. Why? Why must you buy this piece of crap? Let it reverse split. Let natural gas, let everybody hate natural gas. Maybe it rallies and people are like, oh, this thing is a joke. And this is how you get to that hate process, is you chop at the bottom for say a couple weeks and people are like, this thing's broken. It's broken. It's like, yeah, okay, your pride, your soul, your hope is broken. Then it goes. Look at that. Doji at the trend line in the box. Again, I still think this stuff goes lower, but it probably is due as a bounce. ExxonMobil. Nobody's hit. Not a single person has said to me, hey, Dan, you were right. Watch ExxonMobil. And again, I typically don't get a lot of high fives. I get all criticism, right? Always, relentlessly. And I kind of think it's hilarious. We talked about it. This is a trap. Now it holds a 100-day. Watch what happens here. If this thing bounces back to the 20-day, it might curl and turn. PXD. Man, there's some person on StockTwits going nuts about it. And they're like, you're the devil. You caused this. I'm like, no, this is just what it is. Breaks the 203. You're going to really think I'm a mean person. And I swear I'm not trying to manipulate it. EQT, natural gas rises 5%, it rises 5%. These guys couldn't manage their futures exposure. I can't say that on the feed. They just can't do it well. How about that? Just leave it, watch it. This, what is this? I always want to say first. Flex. They had their ex-div today. It was pretty wild today. Man, you can't see the wick, can you? I mean, this thing had a range. I mean, it got up 35, 34, whatever. Point being, I like this name. Once natural gas, again, because natural gas, we are going to be exporting it. I don't think there's any doubt in that. I like the way it's acting. It's holding up. Remember, this is it. Think about, again, this is Nucor. This is some of these better holding up commodity names. Do you really want to short them, or just let them come down? Short tech. What's the best short? Tech. Hey Dan, what's the best other short? Financials. What's the next one? Tech. Financials. Solar. Tech, financials, tech, solar, financials. Got it? Makes sense? Okay, keep it simple. I hope this helps. Thank you again for the donations. Again, I don't care if it's $5, 5,000. To me, it all shows that you understand how much you are learning and saving on your actual, what I would consider, tuition bill. Because this is the question, right? The big question ultimately in all of this is what? What are you learning? And are you going to blow out an account like everybody else? Because that's the goal, is not to blow out your account. So think about it. You are saving, again, not even saving. You're helping yourself ultimately through the education, and you're helping yourself realize like trading's not easy. The people who get lulled into this like thought that they're gonna somehow like master something in 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, you are delusional. To be the best at anything, remember the 10,000 hour rule? Well, hopefully you don't have to 10,000 hours, and you can leverage my hundreds of thousands of hours, which seems like in this stuff. I don't even know how many hours. It's probably more than that. 20 years, I don't know, divided by it. Point being, you're learning something through the lens of somebody who's willing to help, but you're ultimately owning all of this. So that if something ever happens and you can't find me, I disappear, or God forbid I don't get silenced or canceled, or if something ever happens, this knowledge is yours. And that makes me proud, man. That makes me really proud to think that people who ultimately will probably be able to give back, just as I'm giving to you, you will help someone out. Because again, in an abundant world, in an abundant mindset, you don't fear competition. Again, there's plenty of people to take money from, right? We're not worried. Again, none of us are bazillionaires trying to like squeeze billions and hundreds of millions off of people. I don't know about you, but thousands of dollars pays the mortgage, covers the bills. That's a good place to get a nice comfort level, and eventually maybe you will be the big dog. All right, talk to you guys later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.